All right, and the slew. Thanksgiving morning. Oh yeah, double cheeseburger guacamole day for me, and probably some Eve Online, and not a whole lot else, and fiddle-faddling with my room, cleaning stuff up. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? See, it's a real weird, this is like super cold right now, but it doesn't feel like it's going to rain, and it's really weird because usually there'd be that big old butte, right? Well, look at that, bang. Look at that cloud cover. That's low, and this is cold. So I'm kind of wondering if, like, I'm gonna get snow, or if it's, yeah, this is so weird. So this is the other part. There's no breeze, like, at all. Like, not even a light breeze. Like, not even the tops of the trees are blowing. Yeah, that is weird. I hadn't even thought about that part of it until I was like, why does it seem so odd? It's hanging like a fog, but it's not moving. But the ducks are. Oh, look at those ducks. Look at those crazy ducks. Oh. Look at those ducks. They're on their way to hanging out. Now let's hang out down the way in the slough. So you like fly to one end, just go paddling down. Doodle-doo. What a life. What a life. Except it'd be exceedingly cold all the time. Probably lots of bugs all over the place too. Oh, look at it. There they go. Look at that. Oh, look at them doing sick moves. Oh my gosh, this is so dope. Yeah, they're totally doing like the Star Wars thing. Like they like dive into the slough. Like, like, all right, here we go. We're going to take out the Death Star. Okay. All right. I'm being silly. I'm being a ridiculous old man. The appointments that Trump's gone through are really pretty cool. It's a kind of very well played strategy. He's pulled look how they're talking about people now. Look how they're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. Like the way that the shit people are saying about her now is wild, bro. She's an apologist for Syria, Putin, Iran. Like, they're going through like a list of countries that supposedly she like is more than willing to capitulate to, or something. And it's like, and then somebody was pointing out, almost every one of these appointments are people that those departments in some way menaced. And it was like, that's the best part about it. And I was like, excellent, yes. That is what I thought I was seeing. Whoa, that's wild. One clear spot in the sky, and you could see the Thanksgiving flyers. Wow, this is super weird. I can't even tell you. I guess the clouds are moving. Whoa, check it out. That was dope. I hope I got that. That was sick. I even heard them land. That was really dope. All right. I love it. Love it. I wonder if they actually in any way, shape, or form kind of like have some kind of sense that like I'm out here a lot and like watch them. I kind of wonder now and then. But so anyway, just like, oh, there's that thing that always, is floating around us, It's a flightless duck. It's It's always talking to its hand. Anyway, so I found a lot of the appointments kind of interesting because this idea of like, yeah, that you fucked with me and now I'm going to be your boss, which is going to force a lot of people out. There's going to be a lot of people in the government who are going to be like, no, that bitch hates me. That guy hates me. He has a good reason to. I'm out. And then there's the thing that I was starting to think of with shrinking the government. This is kind of an automatic way they shrink the government by then putting people who would have to reform that department as like they slowly whittle through people as they try to get information on things, and they're like, why aren't you giving me this information? Oh, well, you see, okay, you're out. You're fired. You're fucking fired. You know, and so that's the part about this. And I like how now, okay, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian now seem to have really taken on this idea of, okay, we could be factually wrong about this, because they started to, I think, really get this idea of a lot of our sources have gone out of their way to deceive us. This has been really something that, pardon me, I'm very proud to see the way that both of them have recently, the way that they're using their language. They're making it kind of clear. It's like, no, there are things that I believe as principles, and they're working through those. They're working through like how that the structure of that, which I like that. That's the whole game. That's the whole game. Is why does everything seem to follow a pattern and work perfectly except for human morality and ethics? So, you know, if we could only have something as perfect as nature, that were our ethics and our morality. Anyway, so what I found kind of neat was they're using a really good set of words to get across this idea that, especially because I think it was Anna who had an ad for Ground News that she had to point, I think it was her, and pointed out, like, yeah, this story right now is being covered by these outlets. This story is being covered by these outlets, you know, it is not being covered by these, and this one's not being covered by these, and it was great. It was, it kind of gave me a lot of hope. I was like, wow, this is pretty dope. Like, you have figured out, you're being bamboozled. You were legitimately trying to ascertain the truth. And you had sources that every level of authority that could say these are accurate sources. These accurate sources were being deceitful. They were not even not being accurate. They were trying to deceive you. And that now this has sort of permanently compromised the credibility of the Democratic Party in a way that I think they're getting. I'm pretty sure they're kind of getting the idea. They're starting to get this notion of like, wait, this could go very, very badly if the level of deception is as bad as kind of the idea we're getting. So one of the important ones is January 6th, that there's nobody outside of the right wing reporting on what Congress has recently been shown and the conclusions that they have come to about the investigation into January 6th and the events thereof, and that which they can know, because there's a bunch of agencies that aren't telling them critical information. That I mean, it is quite literally that Congress can't really know yet what occurred in certain details of it, and details that are very, very important that everybody's aware of, like everybody who even saw the day and photos of it would. What was this scaffolding and a noose and stuff like that, and this ridiculous contraption that somebody put together. Well, no, to this day, nobody knows who did that. But the weirdest part about it is that guy Ray Epps was talking to those people. And then why is this person who is this character never meant to be spoken of or to by anybody? And that the DOJ somehow went very far out of their way. They're like, oh, this guy is not only a good boy who never did nothing wrong, but you guys are really terrible people for even proposing that this guy could have done something wrong, because he's such a good boy who didn't do nothing wrong. You guys should go to jail. We should put you on a list because you think he's not a good boy who didn't do nothing wrong. You think he's a bad boy. And so therefore you need to be put on some kind of list by Nina Jankiewicz. So I started becoming impressed with now people that they're changing their tune, but it's also that I think that there's people who are getting like with both Cenk and Anna, what they've done is very quickly shown, well, here's the numbers on who voted for Trump. Here's where they live. They're starting to get the understanding that it's like they're getting it. They're Skinner. And they're like, no, it's me. They're getting it. No, it's not the children. It's not the voters. No, it's me. And that it's also that both of them are not getting younger, and they're starting to get this understanding of, I don't want to live in anti-safety. Like, I don't want to, this doesn't even make sense. Well, no, but you see this, you don't know what the robber was really feeling. I don't care, of course. I want the robber punished. So they're using language that kind of shows that they're getting, I got duped for a very long time about a lot of information. And there's a lot of things I know they're not going to concede. They just won't. And they've also kind of made clear, like, they're still believers in a lot of progressive ideas, but it's also that there's a lot of things that really they're going to have to prove that what they think makes sense. They're going to have to sell it, and they're going to have better numbers. They're going to have better ways of putting it together for people that it's like, but that, this washes logically. And I know for Cenk, it's not going to be as Cenk's. He's a believer. He's a believer. For Anna's the one who's switching more and more to, like, I have to be able to prove this, even theoretically. I've got to at least be able to do some back of the napkin math to make this work. And if it doesn't even work there, if there's no example I have of what I'm trying to argue for that's worked successfully, then maybe it's me and what I'm desiring here. And so she's using language that actually kind of has made me I'm like, oh, okay, because she said, I think that she was the one who said, I don't know what this would look like. This is what I want, but I don't know what that would look like. And then also, she's definitely doing the thing of give Trump a chance. This is starting to get ridiculous and embarrassing. Give Trump a chance. There we go. Now the thespians have proven, the thespian Americans have proven it. This is why, animators, this is your time. This is all investors in the animation is where it is at. You need to stop trying to make more and more of these people ultra fucking super amazingly famous. Let them have their own form of internet career that they could put together. Don't make them dependent upon movies. No, you need to get their likeness and make a character based off of them for some kind of adventure or something. But it's animation. Animation is where it's at. Likeness animation, AI animation, or AI ideas behind things. Like there was one thing I saw an AI's idea of what Star Wars, a bar in Star Wars would look like. And it was fantastic and absolutely creepy. It was totally a place. If you walked into this place, it was clearly a bar, and the creatures in it were fucking freaky. And not over the top. They were done perfectly. So now, I've been thinking about that a lot. And that then the other issue being, you have then all these people who they want to make the game that makes you think about, I don't know, apparently anal sex with men or something, or dressing up like a girl and walking around with a heart on or something. Whatever it's supposed to be, you're supposed to think a lot about gay. A lot of these people, I think, in trying to develop these games that are ultra realistic with these then very ugly looking characters, these weird storylines and very weird dialogue, and it's like, why don't you just go back to basics? Why don't you make cute things? Cute things that shoot things. And not with guns, with, whatever, rainbows or something. Why is there not a huge bunch of My Little Pony games? How have you guys missed this? How do I think of things like this? Why don't you have games with like characters that like Orko and Garfield, a few of the ponies, the gummy bears, all doing goofy things, like pillow fighting, on a floating island, it's like pillow duel, and they throw snowballs and they fight with their weapon is like pillows or something. Goofball, goofball stuff, goofball games. They're fun. That are just childishly fun, because I don't think that there's nothing about these guys. I'm a dragon girl boy thing. There's nobody's like, wow, how profoundly moving. You're this hideously ugly, horned demon, non-binary monstrosity. I mean, like it's almost, it comes across almost like that's what you were trying to do. Like that you were trying to make fun of those people. It's that bad. That the character was that badly designed. So I really got, I think you need Kirby. Make a Kirby. I mean, like, the one that gets me is like, the Adventures of Meowth. All these goofy things that are that are meant to say goofy things. They're meant to have goofball lines. They're meant to be kooky characters that they're not supposed to be hot, you know. They're not supposed to. They're loosely anthropomorphic. Like, why not those? Instead, it's like, oh no, we're gonna make Solid Snake. Like, take the snake. You guys will be so angry. And then that's become really clear because of some game recently that's come out or something, or the leaks from it. It's so bad that the dev is like, oh yeah, it just makes you so angry, doesn't it? Ha ha. And it's just like, why? What's the point of that? Like, no, we just won't play the game. It sounds really weird. And that's now, this keeps happening. This embarrassing outcome of like, well, how about we not vote for you? You know, how about we not buy that game? You know, how about we not do that? And yeah, I don't, knowing now enough about the Cultural Revolution, the late 60s Cultural Revolution, especially a lot of the music, some of the styles and scenes, the shaping of later youth subcultures, like how Hot Topic was like the end of certain subcultures being subcultures. The internet kind of ended subculture in a way, expanded some, ended others, really kind of made a lot of people see like, oh, this is the origin of these subcultures. So they embraced that original, you know, subculture. They went backwards. They had their retro stage. Hence a lot of the music of Quentin Tarantino. And a lot of the style that you see of, you know, early 2000s, you know, into like, you know, 2010 or so, and that people went kind of backwards in time. So the beauty of what could be with creativity, I mean, this is just unimaginable. And then there's certain companies that they've taken this very slow plodding course, slowly developing better and better stuff and better assets to for creation, such as my favorite game, EVE Online, with their development of Vanguard, where they're really trying to make it of like, no, we're going to have a solid base of people who play EVE and Vanguard, and then people who choose one, you know, one or the other. And with the best part being that in some way they're going to tie into one another in a very complicated way. That will be really fun. It'll be really fun, and it will also make for fantastic kind of content in the video game world, because of the nature of the way EVE is structured and building up assets in it and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, just some thoughts early this morning on Thanksgiving. Some shots of some ducks. Those are great. I really hope I got those ducks in frame. That was really cool. All right, well, you guys have a great time, and don't eat too much, don't drink too much, and such and such. All right, bye.